I'm sitting here looking at Undisputed for all of them were good. The other guy too, it's another guy, it's a Muay Thai. Ain't his name Boyka? Scott Atkins. Both of them my brother. Both of them my brother. You better know. I just love martial arts. There's something about martial arts to me. I just love it. I was sitting here thinking about I'm being stalked by somebody. I was looking at these videos. Let me shut up. I'm gonna just be quiet about it. No, God told me he give me updates, follow-ups. And you know, as bad as this situation is, these last few updates was clarity for me to let me know that this is about over. And don't you know, every time God, here the last few times God done gave me update, I be ready to cry. I can feel the chills in my head because I got to walk with God and embrace God and talk with God. It's like when the world left me alone, finally I could hear God. And I be ready to cry because it's like, when God first came to me and told me about this situation, before I got into it, he said, enjoy it, basically. Because when I change your jacket and you go back to the world, or get married or whatever, yeah, the relationship won't be the same. And that made me feel bad, but I get it now. I'm like, you always that though, but I get it now though. It's like right now I'm in a situation where you can't touch me, you can't come visit me, even if you wanted to, even if I wanted you to. It's only one person who can come here, and I ain't even supposed to hug her and touch her neither, really. But and that's because we cut from the same cloth, or any of the trees maybe, but they ain't far away. And the only one really close to me is the one that was typically attacking me. So we just decided we better not be around each other. But I've been enjoying this moment. It's like, it's something about this Dark Night of the Soul stuff. You know, as bad as most people might see it, I think the whole world should experience it. I know I heard somebody say, yeah, it be like 3, 6 months. I don't know what kind of, that ain't Dark Night of the Soul. That's called losing your job. You might have lost a job or something. Dark Night of the Soul, from what I understand, it's like 5 to 10 years. But in this 5 years so far, it's just been me and God and solitude. And like, God observe everything. He observe when we watch TV, observe when we sleep, how much we sleep, how much we watch TV. That is the dissension of man, really. The other stuff we tend to do to descend us, it do more than descend us, really. Either way it go, I've been through a lot in my whole life. I've been through a lot, and this moment right here is supposed to took the cake, but I learned so much, and I gained so much. This woman, there's some woman in my ear, y'all. I know who it is, but she all in my ear. But anyway, I gained so much. Um, it's like if I'd have knew this when I was younger, this moment had to happen though. It had to happen this way, so I'd be able to teach the word. If I'd have learned it when I was younger, I wouldn't be teaching it now. And the only reason why I teach it now, cause I know it's vitally important for the world to know this stuff. Why people kept this kind of stuff from us is beyond me. Probably the whole power. But I just thank God for this moment. I got an update 2 days ago about my situation from God, and immediately I almost started crying. Cause when God give me an update, I see that we've been at the surface. We've been at the surface. And I think the last time I truly parked that float, we had got back to the surface. We went back to the bottom for a while. Now we're back to the surface. Then that was it. Cut it off. Learning so much about this tool stuff is so incredible. It's like they put me in a game for jokes and giggles, but in this situation, I got to learn in depth of the tool of a man, the forest of a man, and the garden of a woman, to an extent to, like, if once I get to put this in a book, everybody gonna think twice about relationships and love. They're gonna actually put more into it, research into it, because it's like certain people, tools, they say they got like 3 different abilities, and it affects the world. Believe it or not, it affects the whole earth. It seemed like that anyway. Like, mine could affect the White House, governments. That's how powerful this is. And it's like, you need that woman. That right woman gotta have that right gun. You know what I'm saying? You might have one of them might be an assault rifle. You need an assault rifle. You need something to shoot 50 cal. And you need a Desert Eagle. And it's gotta be a certain gun. That woman, the forest, gotta match up with your bullets. And this is wow. Like, let me say, like I said, I done said this before. You can be with somebody and y'all love each other. You don't know nothing about it, but I do now. And it's like, let's say you got all these plans planned up to do something good, and something good finna come into fruition, something good finna happen. Y'all done got the word that something gonna happen, it's everything going good. Y'all put it together that day. Y'all decided have a romantic night, and then all of a sudden you wake up in that day, everything wrong. That's because that could possibly be because of that mix up right there between y'all two. And how could you test this? Well, when you got something planned, something good, don't. don't. It's like boxing, you gotta go box. You got a championship coming up. Well, we want you to go so long without. It's reasons for this stuff, y'all. And people just don't want to explain it to us. And when you look into it, you be like, I see why they don't want to explain it. Because it sounds fairy tale to death, but it's real. It's real. And I wouldn't have learned all that if it wasn't for God. It was like, I had to thank God for that. Every time somebody put me in a humiliation situation, I learned something from it. That's how I know for a fact nothing is fabricated. Nothing is pulled out of our head out of nowhere. Nothing. And every one of my humiliation experiences that I went through in my life, I found reason in them. I found purpose in them. You know, I found structure. Like, you might have did this to me, I might have found something in that situation, and then there'd be like gold in that situation. They'd be like, where you get that at? And it was a joke to them, but it turned out to be a blessing to me, you know. And the same thing with this, you know, I put my foot in my mouth 'cause I want to deal with study tools in a way. And I got a lot out of that. I learned that the forest of a man, that's why doctors probably don't want to work on, it's many different parts. There's a base, there's a wall, there's a base, there's a wall, an extension, and it's something else. It's like 4 different pieces that goes with this thing. And then it's a spiritual part in it, literally, like, which falls under the root chakra. And it's like you have to, and at the same time, that got to do with the garden, and maybe sometimes the flame, if you ever can meet them. And that's why doctors, I know y'all know this, you just ain't saying nothing about it, because it seems like it's more spiritual than physical. And what can you do about it? You can't do nothing about that. It's 4 different parts. And you can. I figured out a way you can. I'm still figuring it out, but you gotta have some serious stuff together. Like, it's alchemy. It's alchemy, basically. But I learned a lot about that. I learned a lot about how your lovers can really depend on the way you end up in life, in your future. Only God could have taught me this, y'all. Who else? I mean, I'm talking about it's in depth. I'm holding back a lot of it. Only God could have taught me this. There's no way I get out there and do what I used to do when I was a teenager. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. And then I felt since I've been clean and since I gave myself completely to God, I can feel my tree. I can feel me getting cut off from. They won't cut us completely out. They'll keep a cord because we hooked up on a tree. But when you dealing with somebody of really low vibration and you don't know it, you cut some of them cords off so it don't affect us. Because what it is, you in this terrorism DNA is powerful. And when I learned all this stuff, it's all God, man. I mean, who would have known this stuff? And then I learned a lot about my body, especially when me and God first started having one-on-one with each other, like literally. I just told God I wasn't happy with who I was. And when God told me you one of the best vessels I ever created, that broke me down. Imagine the Creator telling you one of the best vessels I ever created. That broke me all the way down. And then I just sat still and I started learning about myself. And it takes a long time. And that's why I was talking about this young lady that I met that was in the Dark Night of the Soul for 10 years. You just see it in her eyes. It's stuff you learn in because when you're in the Dark Night of the Soul, you talking about incarnation, purgatory, all that. So it's like your third eye open all the way up. All the way up. And it was like the more I healed myself, the more the lover that was supposed to be with me kept trying to get to me. That's why I kept telling them, don't come to me because something to re-navigate my energy. But it's like, listen, y'all. It ain't, if you really want to love her, all you gotta do is heal with God. It's impossible for you to be single. Listen to what I'm telling you. It's if you really want to love her, all you gotta do is heal with God. And you're gonna go through these phases of how you're supposed to treat a lover when you get a lover. And these phases gonna take the aggressiveness out of you. If you're abusive, it's gonna take the abusiveness out of you. Mentally, physically, it's gonna clean all that out. And as you clean all this out of yourself, let's say you on your journey with God for a lover, literally, just for that. As you go through this journey with God, cleansing yourself, you're gonna see somehow certain energy of women is coming towards you. This is what you need to be careful for, though. Be careful, because you might think that they too good for you, and you might sabotage yourself. God wants the best for us, all of us. God wants the best, the absolute best for us. Me cleansing, and to this degree, beyond food, beyond physical attachments, but all the way to DNA, genetics, and all that. This right here, I can't even explain. I'm trying my best to. It's well worth it. And now I'm looking at the young lady that stayed in this for 10 years saying, at first I was, 2, 3 years ago, I was like, I couldn't do this no 10 years. 5 years, I do 5 years. But now I'm like, shit, I can do 10 years. I could probably do a little more than 10 years. Because it's like if you want to wake your brain up, like they say we only use 25% of our brain. If you really want to wake that brain up, you got to be by yourself for a long time. Like that's a way probably you could possibly wake a lot more of your brain up. Because you just gonna go in these dimensions and it's just gonna be a wrap, bro. You might have a seizure. You might have a seizure. You might have a seizure, no? You may have a seizure. Cause you're gonna go through you're gonna go without things that you typically normally felt like you needed. Food or anything, you're gonna start alleviating so much stuff. You might go into this frenzy or some kind of like a seizure. But it's gonna open you up even more. It's like it does something to your brain, like it's a blockage on your brain. And it collapsed that. And that's where the seizure really come from. And it's opening more parts of your brain up. I'm telling you, dealing with a lot of holistics and stuff growing up like I was doing, and going through this right here, I was able to put this, like, when everybody put me by myself, Flame put me by myself, SY, all that, y'all gave me a blessing. Y'all blissful. This is blissfulness. Y'all should have did it for yourselves. This is an opportunity you shouldn't waste. Being in a depth of solitude, you pretty much unalive, man. I ain't got to work. I've been working my whole life, so you tell me I ain't got to work? That's a vacation. And then, it ain't no vacation. God gonna work you. He gonna work you. God gonna work you real good. But it's gonna be more spiritual though. And I can tell he told me when I get tired, that's when it's almost over. And I ain't gonna lie, I've been getting tired lately. And he told me that in 2020. He said, when you get tired, it'll be almost over then. I said, how am I know when I get tired? I'm the kind of person, I don't get tired real like that. And yeah, I'm getting tired now though. It's a spiritual, it ain't even spiritual tired. It's some kind of tiredness that you really can't explain. It ain't no, like, I can get up and go to work. If I had a job, I can go to work. If I had a job and I was working in some kind of church atmosphere, I can do both of those. But I'm still tired somehow. It's hard to explain it. And the only thing I can explain is the fact that God been utilizing your body and you've been utilizing God's energy. And God going, to the next person to help like that. That's the only thing I can explain about it. I've been tapping into energy. Because God's energy, it was like when God told me to get off the drugs. Get off all the drugs. And I was just on the drugs for the energy in a way. As I was taping it off the drugs, I was healing myself at the same time. And it got to the point where I didn't even realize I was getting off the drug. I'm like, when is the energy gonna go away? Energy didn't go away. The energy wouldn't go away. I was like, what is going on? Something ain't right. And that's when I realized I'm tapping into God's energy. And that was the reason why I had to get off the drug. Because they couldn't share the same room together. The furniture was a mess inside of me. I had room for the devil, but not room for God. So I hope y'all get this. But like I said, it's almost finna be up. It's almost wrapping up. But I thank God for every second, every moment of this. I heard from my boy, the wise one, a while ago. He said, don't let them get on your skin. You're so right, bro. But they ain't getting under my skin. I done seen so much, dealt with so much. I gotta get myself, pull myself back most of the time. I don't let them get on. I get excited. I get so excited, I sabotage myself. That's what I've been having to work on. It's been honestly a real long time since somebody actually got under my skin. I can't remember. I think my brother was still alive the last time somebody actually got under my skin. I mean, look at what I've been through in these 5 years. Somebody take your child away, take your finances away, take your security away, and claim it for themselves, and pretty much dancing in your face. And if that didn't make me blow a torch, ain't nothing gone. Ain't nothing that this earth got to offer gonna break me. I already done been through so much in my life that I ain't even talk about. I ain't gonna talk about it. It's between me and God. It's between me and God, you know. Some people wanna know and try to fish it out. Maybe it's this and that. I ain't really been through stuff. I've been through a lot of gangster stuff. Just to be real with you, I don't consider me being no gangster. Wasn't no gangster or thug. I've been through a lot of gangster stuff though. Stuff I had to endure dealing with gangsters when I was a child, looking at stuff. Like I used to tell them on the street. I used to be on the street when I was on the street at 12. I would tell the drug dealer when we get into it and be ready to fight, I would say, you remember I'm the victim of the house you broke. And that's about as real as it get right there. So before we get to fighting, that's what I would tell them. You know, even though I'm on the street with them now, I tell them before we get to fighting, right? You remember I'm the victim of the house you broke. I'm finna take everything I got out on you. I die before I let you kill me. Just like that. So I had to grow up fast. And in this situation, I just really focused on my attitude. How I need to talk to people. How should I talk to people? How I need to treat people. And most importantly, how I need to treat myself. And understanding how to love God the right way. That's why I enjoyed the test. I was like, well, you know, this is how I seen that test. I seen that test like this. I still got a ways to go with my Father when it comes to my personal healing that nobody know about. Well, some of y'all do. I guess you done figured it out. And which is mostly the way I think, the way I speak, and my emissions. You know, my own personal steam. Like Kuruma and Naruto. How to get this thing under control. So, Kurama, I would say that. So, I'm looking at the window of time of that, what I need to fit, what it's gonna take to fix that. And it's a lot longer than you could think. So, I was like, well, this test will keep me entertained because the way I'm looking at this test is like, everything that I'm doing is of God except for this test. So if my Father told me as soon as you quit it, I'll make it right, ain't nothing for me to quit except for the test. So I had already cleansed myself and cleaned myself and straightened myself up to the point where I can realize that. And for me, that's powerful. I don't know how everybody else feel about it, but for me, that's powerful.